Just what exactly have we gotten ourselves into this time?
Keep hearing strange noises, and I don't think it's just a mind trick.
Alert the authorities.
Buen dia.
We have arrived in the capital city of Panama.
Spend a little time and see some Panama, see the canal, just explore a little bit.
Why is this city so hot right now? And we're not just talking about the temperature. Tens of thousands of Americans are moving here to retire. Why would they, and why should you check this place out too?
Just go for it.
We're finding out during a long layover in Panama in this episode of Window Seat. All right, so right now it's just past 10 o'clock at night. We are at Denver International Airport. We are on our way to Panama. When we saw a chance to go to Panama on the cheap, we took it. So obviously we're all about budget travel. I don't remember what we spent on this flight, do you? $180. $180. So we're traveling internationally for $180. It's hard to beat that. Even if it meant a red-eye to Central America, we were all in because I'd never been here and we wanted to see what all the fuss was about. Seems more and more Americans are heading here to live out their days in the tropical Central American heat. Consistently, Panama now tops the list of places for people from the U.S. to retire. Why? Well, the country's rolled out the red carpet. They offer incentives like a Panama retirement visa. It's basically permanent residency with import tax exemptions. Retirees can also get exemptions on things like utility bills, dental exams, transportation, and other stuff too. They really want you to move here. It's also just a 3-hour flight from the U.S. mainland, and the U.S. dollar is accepted almost everywhere. They have big cities, beaches, mountains, whatever you want.
This corner right over here, these two artificial islands.
Our awesome tour guide, Dan the Man, Dan Taylor Figueroa, showed us all over the city to help us understand why so many Americans are moving here. And pretty quickly, we figured it out. The place looks like Miami Beach. High-rise condo buildings everywhere, nearly all of them near the water.
And what do these houses cost?
Well, luxury condos in this area start in the 300s, so not too shabby for resort-like living. And Dan told us most of the high-rises in this area have built-in daycare centers, so homeowners can leave their kids all day and come and go from work with no childcare issues. That alone might convince some folks to make the move. Our tour continues as we head toward downtown, or at least the current downtown.
The first city of Panama is there. So they built the second city of Panama a little bit further down.
Over the years, they just keep adding on around here, building man-made islands as the demand grows. And demand certainly has grown.
On this street, you're going to see that's the beginning of the Chinatown, the first Chinatown we had.
Panama City is now called the skyscraper capital of Latin America, and no building is more impressive
That's the spiral building.
than the corkscrew 53-story F&F Tower. It's got the tightest twist in the world, and it's the 5th tallest twisting tower on the globe, if you keep track of that sort of thing.
Where we are going.
Yeah.
It's 2 locks there.
Wow, okay, that's cool.
Of course, no tour of the city would be complete without checking out the attraction that put this place on the map, and that is where we're headed next. That is, after a quick encounter with police.
Buen dia.
Any run-in with the cops in a foreign country is a little unnerving, but thankfully, no cause for alarm this time.
What are they looking for?
No, you just make sure you're in order. You know, your driver license is not past due or no.
Got it.
Or if you don't have no ticket.
Okay, now onward to the place you have to see in Panama.
All right, here we are, Panama Canal. It's still early in the morning. We haven't slept much, but it's cool. It's nice and warm here, so that wakes things up.
We went to the famed Miraflores locks on the canal where we watched this cruise ship get lifted in the water as it made its way from the Pacific to the Atlantic Ocean, shaving 22 days off its travel time just by navigating through this man-made wonder instead of sailing around South America.
This will not be called the Fast and the Furious.
We made a whole other video about our amazing trip to the Panama Canal, and you can watch it right now by clicking the upper right corner of this video right there. We also have a link in the description. It's a super cool place. You got to check it out. Now, like any good tour guide, Dan the Man was ready to show us all the pristine and pretty stuff, the places tourism boards brag about. But we wanted to see the gritty, the government housing projects he referred to as the ghetto, where crime is high and Rents run anywhere from 30 to 50 bucks a month.
Is that all right?
No problem with me. Is it all right with you?
It's fine with me. Are we
He
safe?
likes
I'm a bodyguard too, you know.
Oh, good.
You heard him right. This was the moment our guide told us that he moonlights as a bodyguard and he is armed in case things go south. Thankfully, they don't. No reason to be worried at all here, and we got to see a slice of Panama that they don't normally brag about.
All right, I'm good. I got what I need. Thank you.
Speaking of off the beaten path, as Dan drove us around, we spotted this old abandoned building right here, and we had to go inside.
I always think it's great when you go to a strange place and then you start rifling through abandoned buildings because God knows what you're going to find. And we're about to do that in Panama City, Panama. This all used to be part of the U.S. military base. There was a massive operation here with the U.S. military before we handed back over the Panama Canal. And when they left, they basically abandoned these buildings and nobody came and took some of them back over. So they just sit here.
Have you had your tetanus shots?
We go in and find broken glass, collapsed ceiling tiles, graffiti, trash, each piece of the dilapidated building telling a story about its past.
And you're just like, oh, there's an abandoned building. This is not something you'd do back home.
Looks to me like this used to be some sort of like dance hall or some sort of meeting space. There's a stage, looks like. Maybe they had shows here. But man, it's just full of broken glass and busted up old doors, scraps of wood. But it's still really cool.
With each new step inside, a crunch that makes you pray your shoes have thick soles.
It's kind of creepy to walk into random buildings that are, you know, abandoned and ruined.
I'm guessing this building was last used like in the 1970s, somewhere around there. And yeah, just left here to rot. Literally, like if you look up at the ceiling and the roof, you get the sense that, you know, one strong wind and this whole thing could come down on top of you. So thankfully the weather's cooperating today.
And how do we know? Well, because we can actually see the weather in here. Look up, and there are holes in the roof exposing the tropical outdoors.
Keep hearing strange noises, and I don't think it's just a mind trick. I think there truly is something alive in here somewhere. So we're gonna get out.
The outside just as creepy as the inside, but this stuff, not the slick realtor view of a city, is what I really wanted to experience.
I just think it's cool to just get in there and explore what's left behind of, you know, generations gone by, whatever place you're visiting. So if you have a tour guide and you see something like this, just say, hey, pull over, let me check it out. You won't be sorry. It's cool.
Our urban exploring mission, though, was soon interrupted by the whacking sounds of a roadside fruit harvest. Dan spotted a tree ripe with fresh mangoes, and like manna from heaven, they started dropping from the sky with a little help.
So how long will it take before those are good?
Yeah, like 2-3 days.
Maybe this is another reason American expats live here. Who needs a grocery store? You can get your produce right here.
You like mango?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of fiber.
After a quick rinse, we sample this local staple and quickly understand why someone would want to go out on a limb for this fruit.
Very sweet.
Thank you. All right, let's do the taste test. Very sweet. Yeah, that's
They got
good.
a whole bunch over there.
Yeah, that's
That
good.
is right.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's, yeah, with a stick, we will just use it as a boomerang and come
Yeah.
down.
See,
Hay bastante
come to
madura ahí
Panama and
arriba.
get free food.
All right, our time in Panama is almost up.
And then from this point on is the old town.
But no trip to see the best this city has to offer would be complete without a visit to the oldest part of Panama City.
We're in Casco Viejo. You know, it's very touristy down here, but it's really cool. It's really old, it's very charming. I was just here a month and a half prior to this, and it was actually very cool. If you ever come into Panama, this is where you want to stay.
With With its balconied buildings and flawless facades, it looks like a mix of Bourbon Street and Old San Juan. There are fantastic old hotels, as Sean found out when he traveled here a few months back. He and Carrie stayed at a hotel connected to an old monastery.
I like to stay in convents.
Yeah, we do.
We'll put a link to that full window seat episode in the description below, but suffice it to say, you're going to love this part of the city.
Única Concepción.
Okay.
Le dicen el indio.
It's almost as sweet as the fruit drinks street vendors make to cool off the throngs of visitors here.
Le dicen el indio. There's 12 apostles and the Virgin Mary on top.
Of course, if in Latin America, you have to visit a church too, and we visited Sacred Heart Cathedral in the heart of Casco Viejo. They first had services here in 1694, if you can believe it, and buried beneath is a crypt with the archbishops of Panama. It is a World Heritage Site, and the Pope even visited here in 2019 to inaugurate the cathedral after its restoration was complete. Across the street, we visited a weird restaurant called Casa Cathedral, loaded with, for some reason, vintage cars. Each town has its odd tourist attractions, and this one is Panama City's. We also stopped a few other places like Centro Coastera, where they've got one of those big Instagram-friendly Panama signs so you can tell all your friends you've been here. It's cool. Check it out. And we took in some rooftop views of this amazing city that seems to keep luring so many Americans. And after just a few hours on the ground here, we got it. Yes, it's hot and tropical, but it's cool in the hip sense. Lots to see and do, lots of perks for Americans, and not all that unlike home. So, if you're jonesing for a change of pace, maybe wanting to work remotely from a beachy location, or perhaps retire in a place where it won't cost you that much money and you're still pretty close to home, well, maybe all those retiree websites and surveys are correct. Maybe Panama is the best place to live your best life. Why not? Heck, as Sean would say,
Just go for it.
all right, that's it for this episode of Window Seat. Hope you enjoyed it. We'd love it if you left a comment below telling us your favorite spots or what we might have missed. We'd also love it if you hit like and share and, of course, subscribe so you can follow our journey as we travel to every country on the globe. We're back with another episode next Friday. In the meantime, be sure to check out one of these other episodes from Window Seat.